Memorial Day this year is missing the parades, flag ceremonies, and large gatherings of the past. Perhaps that is good. The quiet of town cemeteries will allow us to think on what the service of the men who have fought to keep our country the democracy that it is today and are responsible for the freedoms that we all enjoy. So as our Memorial Day tradition goes, we are here today to honor all of our veterans and, as our custom, one special veteran. I decided to choose a Revolutionary War veteran. There are so many Revolutionary War veterans who first settled Eaton and this vicinity that it would be hard to honor and to choose one. From Colonel Joshua Leland, who served under George Washington and purchased a large land tract that became Eaton, to the man he purchased it from, Colonel William Smith and his wife, Abigail Adams Smith, who was the daughter of President Adams. Smith himself having been the adjunct to George Washington, and who settled the area still called Smith's Valley today. Other notables include Major Sinclair, who purchased the land owned by Colonel Leland, now with a historical marker for the Dunbar farm. Sinclair kept a tavern there and a stable on that property used for travelers. Others include Jonathan Bates, who came to Eaton and purchased land just below the Old Town of Eaton Museum. His grave on the side of the road is marked today with a large bronze plaque on a huge boulder. Bates had served with the well-known patriot Ethan Allen and his famous Green Mountain Boys. Others include Benjamin Morris, brother of Joseph Morris, Major Elijah Hayden, Nicholas Byer, he had been a member of Burgoyne's Hessians, Simeon Chubbuck, grandfather of Emily Chubbuck, and many more. To choose one to honor was a very hard decision. So I decided to go back in the history of our military men and choose a known historic name, Miles Standish. Yes, Miles Standish. Mr. Standish was a direct lineal descendant of his illustrious namesake, Captain Miles Standish of the Mayflower, one of the most distinguished of colonists who landed on Plymouth Rock in 1620. Captain Standish had been hired as the military protection for the early colonies, and in true military fashion, Miles Jr. was a soldier as well. Corporal Miles Standish was born in 1748 in Duxbury, Plymouth Colony, Massachusetts, having moved to Eaton where he died on July 22nd at the age of 70. Miles Standish, Naomi Standish, and Daniel Standish were members of the early Second Baptist Church of Eaton and appear in a census for Eaton, Madison County. Miles was always called Miles by all who knew him and took up the farm once owned by Aidan Brown near Pierceville. Living there for many years, Standish was an energetic businessman who invested in the Skaneateles Turnpike, and he built and kept the first old turnpike gate, which stood in the early years opposite the famous Alderbrook grist mill. It is so interesting to see both national and local history meld seamlessly together this way. So on our annual Memorial Day, let us remember all of the men and women buried in this cemetery and in all the cemeteries around the world. All those who fought for our country from the Revolution onward to today, including our National Guardsmen and women fighting our new invisible enemy.